So a lot of people always ask about how to deal with heartbreak, how to get over relationship breakup when he or she doesn't want you anymore and you're finding it very tough, or maybe you've just left a relationship. I'm going to give you a way, and this way is very unexpected. You're not going to expect this at all, but it's very powerful. I'm going to share with you in the car. When it comes to learning, there's nobody ahead and nobody behind. I don't believe I was born with all the skills. I don't believe I was born confident. But what I do know is that if I decide that I'm gonna go in on something, I'm either gonna go big or I'm gonna go home. You know, a lot of the time when you're dealing with heartbreak and it's kind of like, feels like the end of the world. It's like, how do you get over it? And it's like you've been through so much together, and you got so many, you know each other. You've put your heart, you put your soul into someone. You put that vulnerability out there, and then that moment where it feels like the whole world's crashing down on you, and it's like, how do I deal with this? It's like, but the very interesting thing is that some of you who are maybe going through this right now or have been through this, it probably also wasn't your first time. And what does that mean? It means that you've probably thought before at one point in your life, like, I can't get over this, it's like, I can't live without this person. Dare someone even say that, and a lot of people think that way, and some people can get depressed and even feel suicidal, do silly things. I was having a chat with Alia the other day and talking about this, and then she said that people literally, like, they slit their wrists, and because the mind, it's too much emotion is involved. Now, the answer to all of this and how you can actually start really taking charge of your life, taking charge of your emotions, not getting lost in love, and instead being able to let the situation pass, if that's what you're looking to do, and be able to let go and move on. The secret behind it all, and when I say this, it's gonna like shock a lot of you. You're gonna be like, what does that even mean? But when I explain it, then it'll start making sense. And this is something that I learned from my master many years ago when I was on a trip out in Bali, and it was really, really powerful. And he was talking about loving deeper. So if you really think about it, what I'm saying is you can get over that love by loving deeper. Now you're thinking, but what does that mean? I'm really in deep love already. But what I'm saying here is, love, number one, love yourself deeper. Number two, love them deeper. Now you're thinking, but that's what it is, and that's the problem. Now what if that wasn't the problem? If you think of it this way, right now you are putting yourself through emotional pain. Now, how much self-love are you giving yourself? Right? How much are you feeding that soul? And instead, by taking yourself into what we call these lower vibrational frequencies, what's the result of it? The result of it is you attract more of that thing. You attract more of what you don't want because you're in low vibrational frequency. So to be able to manifest what you want, it may even be that you want the relationship back. But to get the relationship back or to let go and move on is actually the same strategy, which sounds totally bizarre. But when I explain this, you'll start understanding why. Because when we have let go of the thought, we are loving ourselves more, we are loving them more. Why? Because most likely there's pain, and that's why the breakup doesn't happen without pain. It could be pain that is very apparent to both people have been arguing for a long time. It could be pain where it's like, oh, but I don't see it. I didn't see what happened. I didn't see it coming. But obviously they were going through some pain that they didn't want to be with you anymore, right? And maybe they just didn't voice it. So if the other person called for the breakup, or if you both mutually called for a breakup, there must be something wrong. And if there's something going wrong, and you're trying to force it and trying to keep going back, instead, you're not helping the situation, you're putting both of you in pain. So, my question to you is simple. Can you love deep enough, love them so deep to say, I love you so much and I want the best for you. I love you so much and I want you to be happy. I love you so much I don't want to see you suffer in this relationship anymore. I love you so much that it's so unconditional and so powerful that I'm prepared to even let go of you and set you free. And also in the process, set myself free, because I also have self-love for myself. So when you're able to do that, and that's a different perspective, and this takes affirmations, what I just said there. You say it to yourself, you speak it, you feel it. Because in actual fact, think about it. When you love someone so much, but you can't let go, and you say you can't let go of them, actually, you don't really love them so much, because they're going through pain. Obviously, problems were happening, and you're saying you love them so much that you wanted them to continue to suffer. Actually, the reality is that you are attached. You feel ownership. You feel like, I put so much time and effort into this. Gave you so much love. Why aren't you showing me it back? You know, why is it not working? You know, it's already been 2 years. It's already been 5 years. Well, let me tell you something, right? Whether it's been 2 years or 5 years, whether it's been 10 years or whether it's been 15 years, some in marriage even, right? Think about it. That's the pain it's taken now. Is it time to acknowledge and set yourself free in the process? Because when you do, everything will start to change. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I just want to finish on this note. What a lot of people don't realize is the moment you learn to love them deeper and let go, what actually happens is when you let go, you aren't holding that tension. You're not fighting for something. And sometimes the universe decides to give you that thing. The thing that you let go of, it allows you to actually attract that thing back into your life. And that's the powerful thing. There's been so many times, think about it. You're holding on to something, the universe can't deliver. The moment you let go, they come back. So when you let go, you actually have the option to say, hey, do I want to go back or not? But actually, if one goes through all the thought of why it got to the breakup in the first place, then most likely you won't need the relationship back. So that's my sharing for today. And if you found it useful, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, comment below. Let us know where you guys have tuned in from. That's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's that little bell sign, by the way, because this year I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, namaste. Ciao. I was actually thinking to actually do something. I guess for some people it may seem a little bit more advanced today. But some people it's simple, but there's going to be a whole sequence that will come from this. And this is, we're going to get down first, okay, what we call Lotus Pose. And before I go into Lotus Pose, I want to give you a few explanation behind it. Because when we are practicing yoga, if you look at how Lotus Pose is, okay, first of all, warm up to it, okay? Make sure legs are open, warm up to it. If you look at how Lotus Pose is, because all 4 receiving points are facing up, also your energy is all freed up. All the pressure, when you feel pressure, whenever you're practicing yoga, so first of all, warm up the legs, okay? And then bring one over, warm it up first. Once it warms up, then bring the other one over, same thing, warm it up, breathe. Don't force it. And you got to breathe into the stretch, you know. Now, when we go into the full asana Lotus Pose, 1 foot goes over, 2nd foot comes over. Okay, so 2 feet are over. Now we need to get comfortable in this position. 2 feet are up. You feel pressure releasing on the legs. At first, it's not comfortable, but when that pressure is releasing, what you're doing is you're allowing the energy to flow. So energy is flowing all the way from grounding, all the energy is traveling up the body, around the body. We got a train passing by. And at the same time, all receivers are facing up. That's why Lotus Pose is very powerful. In fact, this should actually be practiced in water. Maybe on another video, we can talk about that, okay? And maybe we find some water to actually dunk ourselves in, okay? That was very extreme when I was in the Himalayan mountains. Now, the thing is, so when we do one side, now it's good to actually stretch out the other side. So left side goes over, right side goes over, okay? So you do both sides. And then another thing as well is to get a deeper Lotus Pose. So for this week's yoga challenge, okay, last week I actually seen a few of you actually did the yoga challenge. So maybe you guys hashtag, if you're going to post on Instagram, I'll reshare your repost it. If you're not following the Instagram channel, make sure to follow that. And we'll do a yoga challenge to see who can do this. Okay, you guys post a photo of yourself doing it or a story of yourself doing it, doing the yoga challenge. Okay, so you bring into Lotus, so you need to get a deep one. So what it means is bring the foot over and it's nice and deep. Instead of just being here, it's nice and deep. Then you bring the other foot over, again, nice and deep. Once they're both over, what you need to do, give it some love, bring it together, close it off, bring it together, hold, squeeze. When you squeeze, it'll be like a hug. Feel and enjoy for a few seconds, okay? So that's this week's yoga challenge. You guys can hashtag yoga challenge, and then I'm gonna see who posts and who actually manages to complete this week's asana. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, on the next yogi with a Lamborghini. Is it with a Lamborghini or in a Lamborghini? I get confused sometimes. This is the time where you guys are supposed to click on the next video. So just check out the other videos. Now would be a good time. Namaste to all.